Mark, I know from the lecture you shared with us in the Youth Ministry Initiative Urban Ministry Symposium this morning, that your next generation work is already beginning to outline three principal ways in which successful churches engage their young. Could you give us the three and explain a little bit what they each mean to you in your research?
Thank you, Skip. As myself and my colleagues we've been working together and visiting churches and listening to them and worshiping together, we stepped back and we said, how are churches relating long-term to their young people? How are new immigrant churches, how are they relating, what's their vision for the young people in the church? And so we didn't start with this. This is something we looked at different congregations we've been praying with and thinking with and talking together with, and we said, I think this looks like how three different ways we're seeing things are coming together. The first way is we see congregations that are empowering their young people to go into the world. I was struck by this in a Nigerian Pentecostal church in Brooklyn. And as I was interviewing the young people, I said, now, do you plan on staying in your church? And they said, no. I said, we probably will be moving around the world, and we will take our Pentecostal faith wherever we go. But it's not important for us to stay in this church. It may be a good thing if we stay in Brooklyn, but if we move around the world, we are going to go to other churches and take our faith with us, and we're going to go to other cities and take our faith with us. These young people were committed to their faith and their understanding of the work of the Holy Spirit, and they were going to take it wherever they went in the world. These were young people who were looking toward the future. And the church had given this vision of empowerment to go forward. Maybe they stay, maybe they leave. But if they leave, it's not only with the blessing, but with the strength of the congregation provided with them. The second model is investing in young people. What I found was some congregations are so committed to the next generation of young people that they're not just praying for them to go to college, they're helping support them financially to go to college. They're setting up funds, they're giving monthly support perhaps, and they're investing in the future generation. They're not just investing in them, they're actually asking them to take on leadership roles in the church. So as the first generation and the second generation grow together, they're taking on new roles. And there's a mutual respect between them. The second generation is certainly not trying to replace the first generation, but they're respecting and honoring and also giving significant, honest roles of integrity within the church. So there's an investment in leadership and in education and in life. The third one that we found was one we called incorporating young people into the future of the church. And this is actually one we often see. It's where a congregation or a parish, Catholic parish, has, if they have groups in the church that speak different languages, like let's say Spanish, they will have an English Mass and then a Spanish Mass. So they'll try to find a way to keep both groups involved, and as people are comfortable with the language, they'll adjust the language. And in the life of the liturgy or the life of the worship, young people have an involvement. So there's a life incorporation over the generations. So all these things are not mutually exclusive. Some congregations do a version of all three. But it is interesting to see how each of these models have their strengths, and each of these models are working in different contexts in the urban setting.